Imagine a scientific theory so obviously true that you have to fake the evidence. Darwin's theory of macroevolution claims that species transform into completely different species over millions of years through a process called natural selection. The classic example? Whales, which Darwin himself claimed evolved from land mammals. Now, Darwin's theory makes sense in a superficial way. The idea is that if we look at nature itself, it will tell us how things work if we just look closely and carefully enough. There's just one problem. We also have to apply this theory to human beings. Where do we come from? What are the origins of the human species? According to evolution, apes. We look similar. Hands, feet, faces. Close enough, right? Except there's a massive gap between apes and humans. So where's the proof? Where's the transitional fossil that would prove humans evolved naturally and we can throw out those pesky supernatural explanations? Historically, the pressure to find this so-called missing link has been enormous, with promises of scientific fame and fortune, which is exactly why people fabricated it. Enter the Piltdown Man hoax, one of the most infamous frauds in scientific history.
And here it is, folks, the missing link between humans and apes. Discovered in 1912, or, fabricated by a guy in his garage. Charles Dawson, everyone. He found this ancient fossil and declared it the missing link. Scientists, they were like, "Yup, looks good to me." Turns out he just glued a medieval human skull to an orangutan jaw. Oh, and he aged the bones with a little tea staining. Nothing suspicious there. But hey, Piltdown Man wasn't the only questionable find. There's also Nebraska Man, based on a pig tooth, because evolution, right? So yeah, maybe sometimes science gets a little ahead of itself, but hey, who's counting the number of times it's wrong? Remember, question everything, especially if it involves orangutans and tea.
Now here's the big question. If evolution is obviously true, why are transitional fossils missing? Why don't we see species actively changing today, creatures halfway between what they were and what they're becoming? And why is searching for the missing link given us fakes instead of facts? Piltdown Man wasn't alone. Science has a fraud problem, from scandals where scientists manipulate data to get published to countless other fakes throughout history. And after 150 years of searching, the fossil record is still full of gaps. Science acts like it's unquestionable, especially when it comes to its core belief that everything in nature, including humanity, has a purely natural explanation. But when the evidence has to be faked, maybe it's time to question the authority.